Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode, technically, in the Revival series. That is right. I say technically because this really isn't a revival of sorts. It's mostly, you could consider it a saving. We are saving a player's career more so than reviving their career. This suggestion was given to me by one of you guys, by a viewer, by a subscriber. They commented and said, I should try to save/revive Michael Vick's career. Now, if you're not familiar, obviously, if you're a fan of the NFL and you have been around since before 2007, you obviously know the situation with Michael Vick. Michael Vick was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at a time. Not the best, because you had guys like Peyton Manning and Brett Favre and other guys like that, Tom Brady, obviously. So he was never going to be the best quarterback in the league, but you could make the argument that he was the most electrifying, he was the most exciting quarterback to watch. Obviously, that's true. And he was amazing, especially if you played the 2004 Madden game back on the PS2, Madden 04. He was a glitch. He was one of the most unstoppable players of all time in a video game. It's probably him, Adrian Peterson in the 2000s in a video, or in the 2010s in a video game, and then obviously like Eric Dickerson for like Madden 20. Those like the three top guys. Whatever cover Adrian Peterson was on, I think he was on the Xbox cover for the Madden 25 game, which would have been like 2013 or 2014, something like that. So whatever cover, whatever year he was the cover athlete for the Xbox edition, that year Adrian Peterson was unbelievable. And he's been unbelievable all the time. But those three guys are really like that top tier of video game athletes that are in Madden that are like super unstoppable. I personally have some nightmares still to this day about 2004 Michael Vick, with me and my brother trying to stop him because he would just run around back all the way to the back of the end zone and then run back to score a touchdown on me on the other side of the field. So still gives me chills to think about to this day. But the reason I say we're saving his career is because around the year 2007, Michael Vick was caught up in a pretty disturbing scandal. Not really a scandal because he actually did it. So basically what had happened was Michael Vick was running a dogfighting ring on his property where, if you don't know what dogfighting is, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have two dogs, you groom them, grow them up, and you fight. You have them fight for money. So it's kind of like cockfighting with roosters, except for dogs. So that is what Michael Vick, and obviously that is highly, highly illegal. So when news broke that Michael Vick had been busted for this, he obviously lost his NFL career and he went to prison for a few years. And when he got out, he actually didn't play too bad for the Philadelphia Eagles. He signed with the Eagles, and he came in, and he wasn't horrible. You'd think that he'd be so rusty and out of shape and not in football shape, and he wasn't. He wasn't in there, but then he got into it, and he actually played decently well for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then he bounced around a couple of teams. I think he ended up in Pittsburgh for a season and then retired. I can't remember if he was anywhere else. I don't remember him on anywhere else, but that doesn't mean he wasn't. But I know that he at least was on the Steelers. I can't remember if that was exactly the last team that he was on, but I think it might have been. So we're not going to, this is an alternate timeline. We're branching off that timeline from 2007 is where the original timeline starts and continues, but we're taking a little bit of a branch. If this is the original timeline, we're branching off the original timeline to our own timeline where that stuff doesn't happen, where Michael Vick is not running a dogfighting ring and he's actually still in the NFL. So that's what today's video is all about. Thank you. I apologize I forget your name. It's been a little bit since your comment, so I apologize that I don't remember who you are. But I appreciate your comment. If you want to see other stuff like this, along with Revival Series actual like players who are busts that failed their careers, and you want to see them revived, leave them down below in the comments of any of my videos, but especially the Revival Series ones. And let's go save the career of Michael Vick. This right here may be the strangest Revival Series video I've ever done. Because if you take a look at Mike Vick, you'd be thinking juice. He doesn't need to be revived. He's an 87 overall X Factor, 27 years old. What do you need to revive? That's a great top-end quarterback in the league. And you would be right about that. The fact is, we are going to be reviving the rest of the team around Michael Vick, for one, and two, basically we are saving his career and seeing how it would have played out theoretically if he didn't end up going to prison in 2007. So remember, we're on the branch timeline, so Michael Vick never has any involvement in the dogfighting ring. We can say that the dogfighting ring may or may not have happened. That's irrelevant to this discussion. But Michael Vick never involved in this timeline, in this universe. He's stayed in the NFL. He's stayed on the Falcons, and we will see how his career pans out. Will he ever win an MVP? Will he ever win a Super Bowl? I guess we'll find out. He's not going to with the current state of the squad. This team is bad. There is a high 100% reason why they were the number one pick in 2008, which led them to Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. That's this is the team that led them to that spot. And we're going to change that. Obviously, we're not going to be drafting Matt Ryan this year because we have Michael Vick. But this team is god-awful. So bad. I don't even know how some of these guys are in the league. They are that bad. No disrespect. No, I don't care. I don't care. I can disrespect them all I want. These guys are garbage. Except for John Abraham. He's just old. I think he's like 29. D'Angelo Hall's cool. We got Houston, who's a development trait guy, so that could be nice. But this team is bad. Very, very bad. We are not going to win many games. I did switch the playbook. I have switched the playbooks to Baltimore's offense because I want Lamar Jackson. I want Michael Vick to play like Lamar Jackson was what I was going to say. I want him to be in that style of offense where he can throw the ball if he needs to and also run the ball a lot, which is what Lamar Jackson does. I want Michael Vick to be in that same situation. And with the Atlanta playbooks that are geared to modern day, that's not going to be the case. So I want a playbook that's going to fit Lamar. No, I'm going to do that a lot, aren't I? I want the playbooks that are geared to fit Michael Vick more so, and that's what Baltimore's offensive playbook gives me. So, and yes, Michael Vick does have a player model in this, so that adds to the immersion a little bit. I like that. Here's what his stats look like. He's got 96 throw power. Michael Vick had a cannon. He did. He had a cannon. He wasn't super accurate, but he had a cannon if he needed to. He's also got some great awareness, and obviously the thing you've come to know and love about Michael Vick, the speed, the agility, the awareness, the change of direction, the just natural agility. This dude is unbelievably good. He was obviously the guy that pioneered the running quarterback. I know there's guys like Randall Cunningham and Frank Tarkenton and all these guys back in the day that were running quarterbacks. Michael Vick changed the game. NFL defenses changed because of this man right here. And now, obviously, we have guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, name your fast quarterback, whoever, every quarterback basically, except for, I don't know, the old school guys like Drew Brees and Tom Brady. They didn't run. But that everybody basically nowadays can run. Even Joe Burrow can move out of the pocket a little bit if he needs to. So basically every quarterback, maybe Kirk Cousins is probably the exception to that rule, but he's kind of more of that older generation too. So every quarterback basically nowadays can run, and it's pretty much this guy that pioneered that, because I'm sure a lot of the quarterbacks nowadays grew up being a fan of Michael Vick before, obviously, all the off-the-field stuff happened. But he's a good dude, so I have seen some interviews with him. He's a pretty good dude in real life, or off the field, so nowadays. So that is what we are working with here. The rule for the series, the Revival series, is the usual rule. We have to have the quarterback, or have the player the focus of the video, be the starter of whatever position they're at on the same team that we started with. So Michael Vick will be the starting quarterback on the Falcons for the entire video. Don't have to worry about that. The rest of the team needs some massive overhauls, but that's what the draft classes are for, baby. We are obviously going to be starting with the 2008 draft class, so we will get it loaded in here. And we will see what we're going to need. We're not going to need quarterback. We're not going to need Matt Ryan, that's for sure. But we could use a running back like a CJ2K or a Darren McFadden or even a Matt Forte, Ray Rice, Jamal Charles down the board a little bit. That's a possibility. We could certainly need a wide receiver to pair alongside a young Roddy White. So maybe we go Deshaun Jackson or Jordy Nelson. Although I probably should stay away from Deshaun Jackson because I think I did that recently. What video did I do recently with 2007 rosters? I'm blanking on it right now. What video did I do recently? It's been within the last month or two. I can't remember what video I did recently where I did 2007. I can't think of a player who would have needed to be revived. Oh, it was Jamarcus Russell. That's who it was. It was Jamarcus Russell. And I'm pretty sure that I drafted Deshaun Jackson to pair alongside Jamarcus Russell. So we're probably going to, since that video actually was pretty recent. So since we just did that, I'm probably going to stay away from Deshaun Jackson today. But that doesn't mean we can't grab a Jordy Nelson or even an Eddie Royal, Harry Douglas, Jerome Simpson type of guy. Obviously, as we get deeper, there will be better receivers that come into the league. We know that. But there are some good offensive tackles that we're going to probably need to get. There's some just good at general offensive linemen in the next couple of drafts that we're probably going to have to go for. But it's the 2008 class. You guys know the drill. So this one's going to be a little bit different from the normal Revival Series videos because obviously Michael Vick doesn't need to be revived to the point where he, like the other guys, where they are normal development 70 overalls or lower at sometimes. So he's already an X factor and already an 85 plus, 87. So we're going to go about this a different way. We're still going to do the training camp, but I don't have Michael Vick in the training camp. I think that because the Baltimore playbook is the one that we're going to be using, I think that that's just going to naturally progress Michael Vick without having that artificial boost of the weekly strategy. So I'm going to use the weekly strategy to boost up some guys that could use it, like Roddy White, like Joey Harrington, who that I know that portrait doesn't look like Joey Harrington. Just get over it. We're also going to use Justin Blaylock, but that's just for season 1. I'm going to keep Roddy White in here because I really want Roddy White to become the Roddy White. That's a hard name to say. Roddy White that he did in real life, and he was a stud. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to use the weekly strategies for this rebuild or this revival series. And I backed out a little bit too far. That's my bad. That's my bad. But we're going to simulate the season. And we are going to see how Michael Vick does with a really bad Falcons team, but a different playbook. So maybe that'll just propel them to a couple extra wins that they probably shouldn't get. Knowing Madden, it probably won't, because that usually only works for the Kansas City playbook and maybe the Dallas playbook. But we'll find out. I'm going to simulate year number 1, and we're going to see just how good Michael Vick could do if he never got involved in the dogfighting and went to prison. After year number 1, I guess I was wrong. The Baltimore playbook combined with Michael Vick being a dog, pause, is glitchy. 10 wins with this Falcons team? Really? 10 wins? That feels wrong to have 10 wins with this team. But Michael Vick, when he's your guy, 3,000 yards through the air, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And remember, he's throwing to Roddy White and bums. So, yeah, I know Joe Horn's here, but he's like 35, bum. This is great numbers for what he's got to work with. And then on the ground, he had 877 and 6 touchdowns. That's perfectly fine. That's what I wanted, to him have like 900 yards, even maybe 1,000 yards every once in a while, and have 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns in a season on the ground. That's exactly what I wanted. And Warwick Dunn killed it too, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Remember, the Baltimore playbook is very heavy on the run, so any running back we have is going to do pretty well. Algie Crumpler, oh, that's right, he's in the Mark Andrews role. So Algie Crumpler, yes, I know that doesn't look like Algie Crumpler. He lost a lot of melanin, but he did have 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Veteran Joe Horn had 600 yards and 3 touchdowns. Roddy White, I needed him to have the majority of the touches, but it looks like he didn't. Maybe next year he will, hopefully. Keith Brooking, 106 tackles, yada, yada, yada. Good stuff from the defense. Ooh, a lot of tackles for loss and a lot of sacks. The Falcon playbook might be very good for sacks and tackles for loss, is what we're learning here. D'Angelo Hall had a pretty decent season too. So, all right, that is what we are working with for year number 1, and we made the playoffs as a division winner. So, can we defeat the 10-win Packers with Brett Favre? Yes, we can. Okay. Yes, we can. D'Angelo Hall, 91 overall. Now we take on the boys. Tony Romo, Jason Witten. This is a legendary Cowboy roster. Can we beat them? It'd be an upset of the century, and we can't do it. We fall to the Dallas Cowboys. That's totally fine. We are clearly not ready to be championship contenders in year number 1. So let's get to the off season. Let's figure out how we're going to improve this team for Mr. Michael Vick. We need to make sure we got what we're doing. Now, our draft pick's not going to be great because we made the playoffs and made it into the divisional round, so we're going to be in the 20s, but that's okay. Did I see that was Seahawks-Chargers in the Super Bowl? And the Seahawks get it done. Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselbeck? Getting a Super Bowl? All right, big dogs. Who gets the MVP? It's Matt Hasselbeck getting Super Bowl MVP. Tony Romo MVP of the league. Okay. LaDainian Tomlinson is the Offensive Player of the Year. Julius Peppers, Defensive Player of the Year. Marshawn Lynch on the Bills. And Patrick Willis are your Rookies of the Year. Dun, dun, dun. That's what we got working. We got tons of money. Tons of money. So it's not a big deal trying to figure out what to do in free agency. But we've been through these free agencies plenty of times on plenty of different videos. Free agency in the early days is not really that good. I will get rid of these 0 overall players. Don't worry about that. But the free agencies in the beginning aren't really that great. We will accept the option on Roddy White. Everybody else, I think, can go. Brent Grimes being 25. I'll bring Brent Grimes back. There could be something there, especially if he gets a lot of playing time. He could be something. So we'll offer him a little bit of money. We have. That's not going to hurt us at all. Michael Jenkins being 26. Oh, Michael. Michael, why do you have to be a Buckeye? I love you, but I don't know at 26 if you're going to be a guy for me. I really don't. I'm going to offer him a deal solely because he's a Buckeye. If he wasn't a Buckeye, I'd probably pass on him, but I'm going to do it. And I'm also going to go and edit his face so that it gets rid of the player portrait because that just throws me off a little bit. Tyson Clabo is going to be gone. Demario Williams is going to be gone. Eric Weems, we're just going to let those guys walk. There's no need for them. What I might do is I might trade for some. I don't usually make a lot of trades in these types of videos, but I might go for a nice little cheeky trade or two, trying to get some dogs out here. So let's edit the appearance of Michael Jenkins so we can get rid of his player portrait that looks nothing like him, obviously. So let's go with this random guy, I guess. And then oh, that gives him tattoos. Okay. Some of the heads give him tattoos, some of them don't. All right, so now Michael Jenkins at least looks more closer to what he did before. And Michael Vick is now up to a 90 overall improviser at 28 years old. Remember, he's 28 years old. He's going to get to 30 pretty soon, and then he's going to get to the time where he's going to start to slow down. So we need to get him as good as possible and the team as good as possible before it's too late. And I also do want to jump in and get a little bit of gameplay with him, so hopefully we make the playoffs and make it deep so I can get a little bit scrambling gameplay with him. We're also going to change his X Factor, but I didn't realize that. He's not going to have Bazooka. He's probably going to have Escape Artist, and then he's going to have definitely Protected. He's definitely going to have Dashing Deadeye for sure. Gutsy Scrambler's interesting. I kind of want to give him Jukebox because I think that'd be hilarious. I think Roaming Deadeye will give him. Gutsy Scrambler. Passers with his ability are immune to throw penalties caused by defensive pressure while on the run. That's a good one, but I think I'm going to give him Jukebox for the lulz until he gets up to a higher overall where he can get like the good stuff like Hot Route Master and stuff. So that'll be what Michael Vick gets for right now. And then we will go to free agency. Well, actually, I said I wanted to make some trades. So who do I want to trade for? We could probably grab a couple of young players that we know end up becoming good. We could probably grab them for somewhat cheap. Now, who those players are, I don't know. The first guy that came to mind is Calvin Johnson, but I think after a season, he might be too difficult to get. Like, if we were going to try to trade for him, we probably should have done it at the beginning of the video, because then he'd be slightly easier to get. Like, Patrick Willis is going to be impossible to get now. Well, not impossible. He's going to be super expensive to get. Calvin Johnson's already an 87. Yeah, so, like, he'd probably be a little bit easier to get if we would have done it at the beginning of the season. Darrelle Revis at Darrelle, I kind of want you. Well, you're one of my favorite players of all time. Oh, baby, and this is not that expensive. I can't give up Chris Houston. He's got superstar development. But I can consider giving up Michael Boley, that's for sure. I don't really need Michael Boley. We can draft somebody that's going to replace him anyway. So what does this do? That puts us in the orange. Okay. And then they wanted John Abraham. I'm not going to give up John Abraham. That's just not going to happen. But I can give you the Wiener. How about Todd Wiener? Ooh, okay. And then I'll throw in like a draft pick from 20 or 2000. Is this going to be 2010 probably? How about a 4th round pick from 2010? And trade offer is accepted. We've got X Factor Darrelle Revis at only 23 years old. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Him and D'Angelo Hall on the same defense in the same cornerback room. Studly. And then he also got Houston here. Cornerbacks are almost done, really. We do need to get a D tackle and a middle linebacker. Okay, so we can look at both D tackle and middle linebacker next. Maybe we can make a trade for somebody there. Who do I want to get? Let's start with middle linebacker since we do need that a little bit more. Paul Posluszny. Paul Posluszny is not going to be difficult to get at all, and I do love Paul Posluszny. I'm going to go for him. I can't pass up on Paul. They only want a 3rd rounder. Oh, they're asking for peanuts for Paul Posluszny, and we know how good he is. You can have Lawyer Malloy. Love you, Lawyer, but you're not a Patriot right now, so I can't keep you on the team. Jimmy Williams, Chris Crocker. I could probably give you up, big dog. I know you were one of the suggestions that they wanted, and that puts us in the yellow. Maybe there's another player. Who was that? Oh, I thought it was Darius Slavers. They're like, he shouldn't be here. Who is the other guy that we could give up? It might just have to be straight draft picks. That might be what we do. I know it says they need a tight end, but I don't think I have a tight end that they want. Are they going to want Algie Crumpler? Maybe. Maybe you want Frank, this guy? I don't even know how to say his last name. Oh, they do! So three players gets us Paul Posluszny. I like that a lot. And now we can focus on D-tackle. Now we can focus on D-tackle and get who we want to get. So who's the D-tackle that we want to bring to the squad? Oh, let's see. Kyle Williams. Who do I want? Darnell Dockett at 27 is interesting. Booger McFarland. Paul Soliai. Ooh, this is tricky. I don't know if there is a guy that I want to get. Vince Wilfork's pretty expensive on the cap hit. That's probably not the best idea. Maybe there isn't a D-tackle that I want. There's probably going to be some D-tackles I can get in the draft. In fact, I know there is. So maybe we just hold out because there's not... The D-tackle market right now on the rest of the teams is just not really it. So I think we're going to hold off on that. We'll add Paul Posluszny to the linebacking core in the adjusted lineups. And then we will... Our defense got a big improvement. That is for sure. Our defense just got a big improvement with Paul Posluszny. I need him to have a killer season, and then he'll be dominant. So let's now go to free agency and see if we can add even more players. See if we add even more players. But I do need to check, make sure everybody that I just traded for is under contract, and it looks like they are. Didn't want that to go badly. Trade for a guy, and then they're gone the next time I see them. Advancing to free agency. Who's going to be here? Hopefully somebody. Bob Sanders. I can't do it again. I do it every single time. I'm not going to do it this time. I really want to. Trust me. I really want to. But I've done that the past couple of times I've done this type of era. I've always gone after Bob Sanders. I'm not going to do it this time. But I think the last time I did this, I tried to go after Reggie Wayne and I didn't get him. I would love to get Reggie Wayne to add to this organization. Him and Roddy White would be a nice 1-2 punch. And we're not really in the conversation, so I think I need to bump this money up slightly more. Luckily, he wants to be here slightly, so that helps out. I wonder if he wants to be at those other teams. I don't know. How's that? How's that for a contract? There we go, Reggie. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so Reggie Wayne might be coming to Atlanta. The other wide receivers I don't really want. Tight end, we'll just stick with Crumpler, I guess. Offensive line. Jeff Saturday, but he's 33 and doesn't want to be here. Oh, and then D tackles are not really great either. Robert Gathers being 25 is interesting, but I don't think I want to take the time to make him work. So we're just going to have to look for somebody else. And I think it might just be Reggie Wayne. I mean, LeVar Arrington at 30, I don't really want to take on. It's not really worth it to me. I like the fact of Brandon Browner, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, is in prison in real life. I think he is. Or at least he was in prison recently. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Ooh, Brian Dawkins, but he's 35. I can't go for that. If he was 25, absolutely. And then Darren Schaap. Can't go for him either. So I think we'll just stick with Reggie Wayne and Brandon Browner, and we'll see if we get either of these guys. That's not the button I meant to hit. I meant to hit that one. And we get both of them, Reggie Wayne and Brandon Browner. Welcome to the squad. We add another corner, which we didn't necessarily need, but it doesn't hurt, that's for sure. And then we add Reggie Wayne to this wide receiver room that only had Roddy White, basically. We had Michael Jenkins, but he's a 72. But now adding Reggie Wayne to the team gives Michael Vick an actual #1 option instead of just having Roddy White, who's still pretty young at this point. And then on defense, we got Paul Posluszny, and we add Brandon Browner. We're already starting to build the team up a little bit. We're already starting to look a little bit better than we did, obviously, at the beginning. But now it's time to get to the 2008 draft, where I don't really know where we go. Probably defense, because the defense is not great still. We could basically use somebody at every position except for probably corner at this point. So I don't really know what we're going to draft in our first round pick, especially because our first round pick is not going to be too great since we made the playoffs and won a playoff game. So it's not going to be amazing, but we could probably snag somebody decent. Mock draft number 5 has the Titans at the #1 overall pick taking Chris Long. Where's Matt Ryan? Number 6 to the Cardinals. Interesting. So Gerard Mayo would be a really cool one, but he's a little bit out of reach. They have us picking at 25, taking Ryan Clady. I don't hate that. Ryan Clady would certainly be a really good option for us, but Calais Campbell. I missed out on Calais Campbell in the Jamarcus Russell video. I wanted to get him, but he got drafted like a pick ahead of me or something. I wouldn't hate Ryan Clady either. That is for sure. I certainly would consider Ryan Clady. We'll have to figure it out. We will have to figure it out when we get to the moment. Let's figure out who our last guys are going to be that we scout, though. You know what? Let's just scout Ryan Clady to make sure we know how good he actually is. And then we'll scout... I'll put a little bit on Jeremy Zuta, just for the lulz. And then we'll go for... who should we go for? We do need a D-tackle, but I don't know if there's a D-tackle down here that's going to be good. Atiba Rubin. I have a good history with Atiba Rubin in these videos, but that's when he's already on a roster. So I don't know how good he is when you draft him from the start. I've never done that before. So he might end up still being the same. He always turns into an X Factor for some reason. He might end up still doing that, but I don't know. It probably wouldn't even be that high of a draft pick anyway, so it wouldn't be costly to take a chance on him. I think I'll use my final one on Philip Wheeler. Why not? Why not? All right, let's get to the draft and figure out what we're doing here. That's not the right thing. That is the manage the team screen. Let's not do that. Let's go to the draft. Pick number 25. We could take Ryan Clady and get our left tackle for the video. That would be pretty awesome. Number 1 pick in the draft is the Tennessee Titans, and they will grab Chris Long. All right. Then Darren McFadden, Keith Rivers, hardly know her, Jake Long, Glenn Dorsey, Matt Ryan's in Arizona now, Vernon Golston, Gerard Mayo. Let's get to our pick here. Pick number 25. What's the board got us? Jonathan Stewart, Clady, Dwayne Brown, Forte, Deshaun Jackson, Calais Campbell's there. Calais Campbell will not be there at pick 25 of the second round. So either I get him now or I get our tackle of the future. The problem is Dwayne Brown's not going to be there at pick 25 either. So it's either going to be I get my left tackle of the future or I get my defensive lineman of the future. What do I want? Well, there's going to be good at both positions in the next couple drafts, so it's not the biggest deal to miss out on either one of them. I think I'm going to get Ryan Clady. We were mocked to get him. We might as well get him. Ryan Clady, welcome to the squad. That's our future at left tackle. Locking up that side for Michael Vick is going to be very crucial. Jamal Charles goes the pick ahead of us to the Ravens. Okay, so like I said, we don't have any real good options. Jeremy Zuta's still available. I like that. Martellus Bennett, Cliff Averill. Okay, so there's still some options on the table. I'm thinking either Jeremy Zuta or maybe even John Greco. That's probably not the greatest move. We'd probably have to move him inside if I was going to do that. I'm kind of thinking Zuta here in the second round. Just build up that offensive line. I think I'm going to do that. Jeremy Zuta, welcome to the Atlanta Falcons. We get Ryan Clady. We get Jeremy Zuta. We are building this offensive line for Michael Vick so that he can scramble a little bit more effectively. And Philip Wheeler goes the first pick ahead, or the next pick ahead of us. John David Booty. I'm pretty sure either some sort of he's related in some way to General Booty, Oklahoma quarterback General Booty, legendary name by the way. I think it's his cousin. I'm pretty sure John David Booty and General Booty are cousins. I'm not 100% sure. I know they're related. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't care enough to Google it, so don't question it. I'm pretty sure. I know they're related. I just don't know exactly how they're related. I don't think it's his nephew. It could be. It could be his nephew, but I don't think it is. So there's some good options here in the third round. I think I'm going to go Quentin Demps because we could always use some safety help. So Quentin Demps, welcome to the team. 94 speed, 94 acceleration. That's a fast free safety. That's going to be very useful for us. And then in the fourth round, I might snag myself Carl Nix if he's available. And, of course, the Ravens take him the very next pick, or the very pick before me. So, of course, that's what they do because that's what the Ravens have been doing this entire draft. And Atiba Rubin is available. Ooh, but John Sullivan's available. I might grab myself John Sullivan here. Just building this offensive line. A left tackle, a right guard, and a center all in the same draft. We are working this offensive line to the bones. And now in the fifth round, I don't really even know what's available. Orlando Scandrick's cool. Dennis Dixon's whatever. I don't really know what we're going to do here. Is that who I thought it is? Andre Woodson. Look at the big dog. Colt Brennan, is he passed away? I think Colt Brennan passed away. One of those Hawaii quarterbacks has passed away. I know that. Running back, I'm not going to really... Danny Woodhead, not in the fifth round. Oh, Peyton Hillis. And, this is a good fullback. Oh, look at this fullback class. Yeah, Peyton Hillis, Mike Tolbert, and Marcel Reese. The dogs. That's crazy. No wide receivers that I want to grab. Ooh, hello. I didn't even know Jermichael Finley was in this draft, but he's coming to the Atlanta Falcons. That's a big pickup at tight end. We're just getting Michael Vick all kinds of loaded. And now we have a sixth round. We have two sixth round picks. I'm probably going to spend one of them on a fullback. I'm going to grab myself Peyton Hillis. I might even move him to freaking running back if I get crazy enough. I might even take Marcel Reese too. I might get real freaky. I mean, I got two sixth-round picks. Why not draft a couple fullbacks? This is my last pick. Who do I want to use it on? I may use it on a fullback, but Wesley Woodard is there. Oh, sorry, Marcel. Maybe if you're in free agency, I'll take you. I gotta grab Wesley Woodard. That's too good of a player to let go. He might not have a development trait. Oh, he does. But that's too good. That's a 6th round pick like crazy. That's a good one. This is a good draft. I like our draft. It didn't have necessarily the crazy name value that you might expect, but that draft is probably going to end up being really, really good for me. I don't know how good the overalls are going to be. 75 for Clady, 72 for Zuta, 68 for Demps and Sullivan, 57 for Finley. That could change very easily if we go to Kansas City's playbook. But we're in Baltimore's playbook, so he'll be in the Jermichael or the Mark Andrews role. So he'll develop. Peyton Hills is a 71, and then 64 for Wesley Woodard. Let's get to the entire team, or the entire NFL. Matt Ryan, obviously best player in the class. Then Campbell, yada, 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 yada. We had Ryan Clady, who was at the top, somewhat. So let's get to the season. If you notice Marcel Reese on the team when the next time we cut, it's because I went and signed him in free agency if I saw him there. So just letting you know. But let's load the team up and see what we got. Oh, we're starting Sullivan right away. And we're probably even starting Zuta right away. Just get the young guns getting working in. And we're starting Finley at tight end over Crumpler for sure. Peyton Hillis is starting at fullback. Absolutely. Woodard starting at middle linebacker 2. Or no, middle linebacker, yeah, 2. And then Postlesny will start at middle linebacker 1. If I can get this right. Sorry, Keith Brooking. And then we've got the corners that we're looking good with. Demps is starting at free safety number 1. All right, that's how we'll work the team for season number 2. Can Michael Vick lead this team back to the playoffs? I mean, we won 10 games with that scrub of a team. This offense is a lot better than that team, so we'll see how it goes. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2, unless something crazy happens, which I don't think it's going to since he's already an X Factor. But if something crazy happens, I'll bring you guys back in. But if not, I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. Well, we made it to the end of year number 2, and we didn't win 10 games. We only won 8, but we still win the division because the NFC South in this era is not very good. So we're kind of getting away with that. But Michael Vick, as long as he's playing good and the team's doing okay, then I'm pretty good with that. 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 4 picks. This is around what we expect to see from Michael Vick in this playbook. And he led the team in rushing yards. 938 and 9 touchdowns for Michael Vick on the ground. I mean, that's what I wanted to see, but that's just crazy. I didn't think he'd lead the team. That's insanity. Roddy White does lead the team in receiving yards, which is good to see. Reggie Wayne did fine. Jermichael Finley did okay. Michael Jenkins had a couple catches. Good for him. Defensively, Quentin Debs, the rookie free safety, leads the team in tackles. Okay. D'Angelo Hall, 86. Good to see. A lot of tackles for loss. A lot of sacks. Okay. Interception leader. Not a lot of interceptions, but very interesting. And Michael Vick leads the team in rushing yards, which is just insanity. That's crazy. Are we going to upset the Niners in the playoffs? Yes, we do. Another win in the wild card round. We are really good in the wild card for some reason. But this is where we fell to Dallas last year. And the Packers are 16-1. And we beat them. Oh my God. We are in the NFC Championship against the Seattle Seahawks. You know what? This is only year number 2, but I don't know if I'm going to ever get a chance to play get some gameplay with Michael Vick again. So I'm going to take this opportunity. We're going to jump in, and I just want to scramble with Michael Vick a couple of times. Here we are. It is against the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. I don't think this is going to go very well for us, but I just really wanted to get in and get some gameplay. So, yeah, we're getting absolutely cooked. We're getting destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks. We are not ready to win a Super Bowl yet, which I knew. And trust me, I'm not shocked we're getting destroyed by the Seahawks. I just wanted to play with Michael Vick. And obviously, I'm just going to scramble the whole time. I'm not even going to look to pass the football. Who do you think this is? 3rd and 1. We got another chance to get a first down here. I want to get a big run off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though. I want to find some ability. I do have... Oh, I got to throw this. Oh, what a wild throw. It's Reggie Wayne. Oh, he got destroyed. The controller went away. Oh my God, Reggie Wayne got destroyed. Oh my God, I apologize, Reggie. I didn't mean to put you in that situation. Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. He got flattened. That was a crazy throw by Vick, though. Absolutely crazy throw. Now, how do I find my way to a passing touchdown here? Probably not. That's Peyton Hillis, big dog. Good throw. 4th and inches, keep the drive alive. Trust me, I want to, but I also want to scramble with Vick. I'm just trying to scramble with Big Vick. Can I outrun these guys? I might be able to. Vick around the corner. Michael Vick. I got the first down, but I wanted more. I need to test out Jukebox. I need to see if it's actually crazy, unless I don't have it unlocked, or maybe it's unactivated. Scramble for 10+ yards to get Escape Artist activated. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Oh, that's just crazy. He got through there. I might have had a little bit of room. That middle of the field is wide open. But are they playing QB spy on me? What the heck is that guy doing? He just froze in there. Michael Vick's got a lot of running room. 3rd and inches. I was kind of concerned with that. I didn't know if he was just like playing QB spy and he was gonna wrap me up right as I took off. This guy's, though, he's playing a QB spy. That's a fumble from Michael Vick. That was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. But we're going to lose this game anyway. It's not that big of a deal. It's okay. We still got a lot of years left to go with Michael Vick. So these Seahawks were the defending Super Bowl champions. So it's not like we lost to a bummy team. But at least I got a little bit of gameplay with Michael Vick. And the game has crashed. So that means we're probably not going to get any gameplay with Michael Vick from now on. Okay, so I had to redo the entire save like I have been recently doing when the game crashes, because it just corrupts the file for some reason, the save file. So I had to redo the entire save from the beginning. Luckily, we weren't too far into it. We were only like a season, and then a full season, and then the full second season, but no off season yet. So it did take me a little bit to do, but I got the team pretty much how I had it previously. We couldn't get John Sullivan, so I got Carl Nix instead. We actually won 12 games in the Season 1 simulation, re-simulation, then instead of winning 10 games, but we got knocked out in the division round just like we did in the first season, so we ended up with the 24th pick instead of the 25th pick, which changed some things, obviously. John Sullivan wasn't there, so I took Carl Nix instead, who was there, and I still made the same signings, which were Reggie Wayne and Brandon Browner. I still made all the same draft picks, like Peyton Hillis, Jeremy Zuta, Ryan Clady, Jermichael Finley, Wesley Woodard. I made the same trades. We still have Darrell Revis and Paul Posluszny. So I tried to make it as close as possible, but the dev traits are different. Some of the overalls may be different, and obviously there's a new player here that wasn't here before. So I'm sorry. I tried my best to get it as close as possible. Fun fact, the Cardinals did end up with Matt Ryan still. So they ended up with him in the original file, and now they still ended up with him here in this new alternate. It's the alternate universe to the alternate universe, basically, is how this is. But I think we're back. We're not going to jump into any more gameplay. We're not going to do any training camps, nothing like that, because for some reason, the game, when I'm in this mod, the 2007 mod, when I use this and I jump into stuff, it tends to break for some reason. Tends to crash most of the time. So I'm going to not do that, and we're going to hopefully not have any more crashing. So let's get into free agency here and see what we got. We got a left guard, Ryan Lilja. I don't know how to say his name. But I might grab him because he's superstar development, and that would help out our offensive line a whole lot. I think left guard is one of the big needs that we have still. Now center is a big need too. But if we can grab him, that'd be really, really cool. Other than that, we don't really need a receiver. We could go Vincent Jackson. That could be pretty fun, but we're not going to do that. Oh, should I go tight end? Probably not. There are tight ends that I could use, but I think we'll just ride it out with tight end. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think there's any linebackers that I want to get. I did see Charles Woodson there. How old is Charles Woodson now? 33. We don't really need a corner, I don't think. I think we're just going to go with the one guy, the one offer on Ryan, and we didn't even get him. So, thanks for that, I guess. We're not going to spend any more money here. We'll just go to the draft. We'll get ready. It's the 2009 draft, Matt Stafford, guys that you are familiar with. This year, as you saw, our record was a little bit different too. I forget how many games we won, but we ended up not going to the NFC Championship. We ended up going to the divisional round. So we've lost in the divisional round 2 years in a row instead of losing in the NFC Championship. We did end up beating, I think, the Cowboys, who were a 15-win team. So that was pretty fun. Instead of the Packers, who we beat, that were 16 wins, which was awesome too. But let's do this. So let's start drafting here. I don't know what pick we have. We have pick 27. Okay. Pick number 27. Jason Smith is the number 1 overall pick in the 2009 NFL Draft. That's kind of crazy. Brian Arakpo. Matt Stafford's still not going. Where is Matt Stafford? I should have checked the mock draft. Where is Matt Stafford mocked to? Matt Stafford is still on the board. This is absolute insanity. Are the Lions going to end up with Matt Stafford? They have an opportunity to. Vontae Davis, Ziggy Hood. If the Lions get Matt Stafford, no, they take Clay Matthews instead. You had an opportunity, and you took Clay Matthews. James Laurinaitis to the Colts. I like that. Where is Stafford going to go? He goes to the Green Bay Packers. What? They should still have Aaron Rodgers. Actually, no, because this is 2007. Aaron Rodgers isn't that good yet. So, oh my God, this is crazy. What a timeline. What a freaking timeline. Percy Harvin gets drafted ahead of us. Who am I going to go with? I'm thinking Shady McCoy. I'm thinking Shady, or it could be Malcolm Jenkins. Or it's Max Unger. I mean, that's another good possibility since we don't have a center anymore. But I'm thinking it's going to be Shady McCoy. I think getting that running back is going to be really, really useful. So I'm going to take LaShawn McCoy, 90 speed, 92 excel. Welcome to Atlanta. That's a lethal backfield with Michael Vick and LaShawn McCoy. That's crazy. Now we're into the second round. Who do we take here? We're still looking for a D tackle. Still on the lookout for a D tackle, but I don't think this is the draft to get a D tackle. Next year, I think, is Ndamukong Suh, so maybe that is the year to get a D tackle. Kenny Britt, Brian Hartline. Maybe Kenny Britt's a guy that we add to the team. I kind of like our wide receiver room right now. I don't think we need to add anybody from this draft. I don't even know where to go with this pick here. I guess we could go Glover Quinn and then just move Quentin Demps to strong safety. That's a possibility. Or I could go Jason Williams or DeAndre Levy. I think I'll go DeAndre Levy. I know I took him in the Raiders one with Jamarcus Russell, but we happen to need outside linebacker again this year, or again in this series, so might as well take a guy that's available there. And now where do we go with this? I might go with, I'm either going to go offensive line. Oh, it's stupid. I thought that our dude was going to be here. I'm either going to offensive line or I'm going to go Glover Quinn. And it looks like they're making the decision for me because there's nobody really here that I want. So, Glover Quinn is gone. All right, I guess I should have took him instead of DeAndre Levy then. Well, who do we take now in the third round? I don't even know. I mean, there's a couple names available, but who do I take in the third round? Alex Boone? Probably. He's the only guy that I really want, and we need left guards. So, all right, I think I'm going to simulate the rest of the draft. I mean, there's not really anybody else that I even really want. So they can just draft whoever at positions that we need. So, not a great year 2 draft, but I think the team is performing above their standards. We're certainly playing better than we are, but we are a decent team. LaShawn McCoy's a 75. The rest of the guys are kind of misses, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Best player in the class was Clay Matthews. I still can't believe Stafford fell to 17 to the Packers of all teams. What a crazy timeline we live in. But we're entering year 3 with Michael Vick still on the squad, not in prison. And I think our team is good. I just don't know how good. Why does Derek Anderson always turn into like a stud player? In my Packers series revolving around this roster, he turned into a stud. I don't know what it is. It's super weird. Why is Carl Nix not in the right tackle spot right now? Let me get this changed. Carl Nix needs to be our starting right tackle. I don't know why he's not. I know why he's not, because he's 71 overall, but he should at least be in the conversation over a free agent. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So we got Shady. Shady's going to start right away. Then on defense, we've got Levy, we've got Nicholas, we've got the two middle linebackers. Defensive line's still a little rough. We're still working on that for sure. But we'll see how it goes. We'll simulate year number 3. Hopefully no more crashes. I don't think there will be as long as I don't jump in any games. So we should be good to go. But I will see you guys at the end of the season. We wrapped up the season. We won the division again. That's one thing that has stayed pretty consistent is the fact that we're winning the division. And like I mentioned before, although I don't know if this was pre-crash or not, the NFC South is just really bad in this era. So that's what it is. But we do win the division again. We make the playoffs. We're only a 9-win team, though. Michael Vick has another really, really good year. He stepped up his throwing, though. 3,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. LaShawn McCoy, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards on the dot with 9 touchdowns. And Michael Vick drops down a lot of rushing because obviously he's handing the ball off more to Shady. So that's understandable. Reggie Wayne and Michael Jenkins, I forgot to change his... That's whatever. They both had over 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's good to see. Very, very good to see. Defensively, 101 tackles from Darrelle Revis, of all people. Okay. That's a weird one. 11 sacks from Abraham, 3 interceptions. Okay. Seeing Darrelle Revis lead the team in tackles is kind of crazy, actually. Did not expect that. Can we beat the Bears? Duh, Bears. I think we should be able to. And we do. We upset them. Now we go up against the LA Rams. I think they're the St. Louis Rams at this point, but they are the logo for the LA Rams. Yeah. So we will see what we can do. Can we go to the NFC title game? I'm not going to jump in. But can we go to the NFC title game? We can. Against Philadelphia. Philadelphia, born and raised? On the playground is where I spend most of my days? Can we get an NFC title game win and go to the Super Bowl? Oh my God, we are in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. This is not what I expected in year 3. The Patriots are 11-6, but we beat an 11-6 team. Unfortunately, I don't think I can jump in because it's going to crash. I fear it's going to crash. I really do think it's going to crash. I jumped in on that NFC Championship game and it crashed when I came back in. I can't risk it. I don't want to go back and restart again. So I'm just going to simulate the Super Bowl. This feels weird. Please get us a W. Oh, 31-7. We lose to the Patriots. My God, I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen. But we've already given Michael Vick a crazy career revival because Michael Vick never played in the Super Bowl in his career. So the fact that we already had him play in one is a really good sign. We've got Brady winning MVP of the league. Or no, of the Super Bowl. Tony Romo wins MVP of the league. Marion Barber and Calais Campbell get Defensive and Offensive Player of the Year. Stafford wins Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Packers. And Brian Arakpo gets Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, what a crazy season. We go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Patriots. And funny enough, it's a few years early, but it is Patriots-Falcons, just like in 2016 with Matt Ryan. That's pretty crazy. And it went the same way, although we didn't choke a big lead, I don't think. We only had 7 points. So we're not going to re-sign Jarius Norwood because we have LaShawn McCoy. Mike Otto, I might re-sign for backup purposes. Roddy White wants so much money for not a lot of production, but I'm going to bring him back because he's Roddy White. I would feel dirty if I didn't bring back Roddy White, so I am going to offer him a contract, and he's going to accept it. Perfect. I probably should have just rejected his player option and just brought him back on a contract. It certainly would have been cheaper than what I just paid him. But that's okay. We bring back John Abraham. That's nice to see. He's also a superstar development, so that's really helpful. Michael Johnson we have to bring back because he's now star development, I noticed. So that is crucial. Got to get him back. $71 million, and nobody else needs to come back that I see. Mike Otto, do I want to bring him back as a depth piece? He's not that expensive, so a 3-year deal We give him like 3 million, 3 million. That's not that expensive. As a nice little backup left tackle option. He can play both sides. I like that a lot. Let's get to the free agent period. Let's get to the free agent period. Is there going to be anybody that is available for us? Marcus McNeil is 96 overall, 26 years old. That is insanity. And an X factor at left tackle. I'm giving this man the moon. I'm giving him the sun and the stars. I'm giving this man my soul. You can have it. We'll move Ryan Clady to right tackle. I don't freaking care. I'll give this man my entire mortgage if I have to. I'll give him my firstborn kid. You need to be an Atlanta Falcon. Please pick us. Now, it's probably not smart to go for anybody else, but Chad Greenway is here as well. I have to at least try. He wants to be here. I can't deny him this. He wants to be in Atlanta. I can't deny him the fact that he wants to be there. Please get both of these men. We got both of them. We have no money left, but that is 2 massive additions to this squad. We were severely lacking at outside linebacker. Now we improve that. And now we can switch the offensive lineup. So Clady already moves over here. Perfect. We can move Blaylock into center. Justin Blaylock can come play center. We can move Jeremy Zuta or Carl Nix. I'm probably just going to move Carl Nix to left guard. So we move Blaylock to center. We move... Actually, we have Alex Boone here. We don't even need Carl... But Carl Nix is a higher overall. We'll just move Carl Nix over. It's not a big deal. We'll move Carl Nix to left guard. And then the offensive line's finished. Done. Don't need to worry about it. Don't need to worry about it. So, bada bing, bada boom. Carl Nix moves up to the starting rotation. Finley's a star development player now. LaShawn McCoy, superstar. Michael Vick's up to a 92 overall, looks like. Greenway comes in. We need to work on the defensive line, but this draft class has defensive linemen, at least defensive tackles. So, and Quentin Demps is superstar development. Okay, we are looking real good now. We are looking a lot better, in a better position, absolutely. But unfortunately, we got no money. So, but it was worth it. Getting that left tackle was massive, and then getting Chad Greenway was absolutely massive too. So, I can't be mad at spending the money when it's deserved on those two guys. So, let's get to the draft. Let's figure out what our draft pick is. It's probably 31 since we went to the Super Bowl. So, if I want to trade up, now's the time because we need to get a defensive tackle and a defensive lineman. Those are the 2 biggest needs on this team, other than middle linebacker number 2, because it doesn't look like Paul Posluszny has developed, unfortunately. Rob Gronkowski's also in this draft class. I kind of want to get him, since although Jermichael Finley is developing. Posluszny's a 69, nice. I think defensive line is more important than linebacker, so we'll focus on that. And Ndamukong Suh's in this class. How do I get everybody that I want? How do I get everybody that we want? We don't have to get Ndamukong Suh. We got him when we did the Raiders series. We could go for Gerald McCoy. We could go for Dan Williams. There's a couple D tackles. Corey Peters is good too. Terrence Cody. Probably not Terrence Cody. But Geno Atkins. I mean, okay. So we don't have to worry about trading up for Ndamukong Suh. That's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is probably going for defensive line. Brandon Graham, we know is good. Okay, so there's some options. There are some options. Brandon Graham, we know, is really good. Jerry Hughes, obviously. Carlos Dunlap, Everson Griffin. All these guys are actually pretty good. So we can get a couple of guys. We can fill our holes with players, and we probably don't have to trade up. And let's take a look at this draft, or this mock draft. So the Lions, you passed on Matt Stafford, and then you're going to be stuck with Sam Bradford. That's karma. That is karma. Dan Williams, Des Bryant's up there. We could use an extra wide receiver. That wouldn't hurt. They have us projected to take Jermaine Gresham. I didn't see Gronkowski here at all, did I? No Rob Gronkowski in the top of the class. That's good. Or in the first round at all. That's really good. We're not going to take Jermaine Gresham, but I don't think we need to trade up. I think I'm going to let this play out the way that it's mocked, and we'll see kind of who falls to us. So let's get to the draft. And let's hope that there are some good people available for me to grab. So start drafting. Number 1 pick in the draft is the Raiders, and they will select Trent Williams. Good pick. And Ndamukong Suh goes to the Broncos, and Sam Bradford does fall to the Lions. That's crazy. You could have had freaking Matt Stafford last season, but you didn't take him. Okay, so there are some guys on the board. Earl Thomas, Joe Hayden are at the top of the list. There's Rob Gronkowski. Can I pass? I can't pass. I have to take Rob Gronkowski here because he's not going to be here at pick 31. But none of these guys are. All these guys will be gone in the second round within the first, 10 picks. So I'm going to take Rob Gronkowski to get my tight end absolutely sorted. And I missed out on him in the Raider Jamarcus Russell thing. So Rob Gronkowski looks weird as an Atlanta Falcon, that's for sure. But we're going to grab him. That's going to be my pick in the first round. In the second round, we're going to look for defensive line. Hopefully, at least one of those guys is available. Let's see. They're all gone. But Greg Hardy's there. D-tackle, we're going to take Geno Atkins with this one. I got to get my D-tackle. So we can work on defensive line later. I got to get Geno Atkins. Got to get D-tackle. And now in the third round, what do we do? Who's available? Corners. Nobody that I want to get now. Linebackers. We really missed out on defensive line, didn't we? Except for the Geno Atkins pickup. Oh, hello. I almost forgot about Antonio Brown again. Why do I always do that? Antonio Brown is our third round pick. I always forget that he's in this class for some reason. And I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest. They can take whoever they want. We got Rob Gronkowski, Geno Atkins, and Antonio Brown in the same draft class. I'd say that is a W of a draft. We boost our tight end position, which was bad with Jermichael Finley. Just a low overall, not bad. We boost our D-tackle spot, and we boost our wide receiver room. 74, 72, 72. I love it. I absolutely love it. Obviously, we only had a few picks because I traded away a lot of them to get Darrelle Revis and Paul Posluszny, as you saw. So we didn't have as many draft picks as I would have liked. But hey, 3 studs is something I'm happy with. This team looks a lot better now. At least it should. Let's go and add these guys to the roster. Boom. Gronkowski will start. Carl Nix will start at guard. Offensive line looks great. We'll have Antonio Brown be the number 3 receiver. LaShawn McCoy, Michael Vick. Defensively, we're looking pretty good. Adding Geno Atkins there is awesome. Corners are looking solid. Yeah, I think we can make another run to the Super Bowl. I guess we'll see what happens. We're going to simulate this season and figure out how good Michael Vick does. I'm assuming we're going to win the division again, but you never know. We wrapped up the season, and this time we finished with a 14-win season and won the number 1 seed in the NFC. That is the kind of progression I like to see from this team. I think our offense must have just absolutely dominated because, yeah, Michael Vick killed it. Oh my God, 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 4 picks through the air for Michael Vick? This is the same Michael. This is crazy. 76% completion percentage. He absolutely dominated. And then on the ground, he added 300 yards and a touchdown. So because we've added such a good player in Shady McCoy, it's understandable that Vick's rushing numbers have gone down. But still, we're winning games. It doesn't really matter. And Michael Vick, Sean McCoy had 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. Reggie Wayne, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. Gronkowski had 603 and 5. Roddy White did pretty good. So did Michael Jenkins. Defensively, Wesley Woodard had 108 tackles, 82 for Darrelle Revis. Chauncey Davis with 19 tackles for loss. Okay, Chauncey. 13 sacks for Chad Greenway. A couple interceptions for some people. But this is the big thing. We've made the playoffs as the 1 seed. Can we get back to the Super Bowl? We got to defeat the Bears here in the divisional round. Can we get back to the Super Bowl? Oh, we crushed them. My God, 31-7. Come on, Atlanta. Get me to the Super Bowl for the 2nd straight season. Come on. Typical Madden. Typical Madden. We've lost in the NFC Championship when we were a better team than them. That's exactly how it goes, though. That is exactly how it goes. I think I'm going to go one more season. We're going to go through the 2011 draft. We've basically given Michael Vick a much better career than what he had originally, obviously. So I don't have any problem with going one more season and making it one better, giving one more opportunity for Michael Vick. So we've got him up to a 90. What is that? A 90. 91? What? Was he a 92 already? That's weird. Whatever. Antonio Brown's up to an X Factor. That's awesome. Gronkowski's an X Factor. Yeah, this offense is cooking. This offense is crazy good. And then on defense, Geno Atkins is a superstar. I don't see any other development trade upgrades. Chris Houston, never mind. We have 3 X Factor corners. Yeah, that's pretty insane. 3 X Factor corners is wild. Yeah, we're just going to go probably best player available in the draft. Maybe. I might want to get a little freaky and trade up for like a Von Miller. That could be pretty fun. And then put Von Miller on the defensive line. I think that might be pretty interesting. Or, I mean, Julio Jones is in this draft too. Maybe we go for him. Okay, so we need to restructure some contracts to bring some guys back. And those guys being Paul Posluszny. Probably not David Irons. Maybe. I mean, Nichols probably needs to come back. All of these guys from Nichols onward need to come back. Well, except the option on Ryan Clady. But we need to restructure some contracts to make that happen. And those 2 big contracts that we signed in free agency this past year are the 2 that I'm thinking of. So let's get here and restructure McNeil's contract. He's a 98 overall with X Factor at left tackle. It's crazy. But we're going to restructure that. We're going to restructure Reggie Wayne's contract. D'Angelo Hall. Roddy White, Chad Greenway, Joey Harrington for some reason is making a lot of money. I don't know why. Brandon Browner we're going to restructure. This dude we're going to restructure. Abraham we're going to restructure. All right, so that should be good enough to bring back the guys that we need to bring back. That leaves us with $32 million. Well, we have to get Darrelle Revis back. That's just a guarantee. He doesn't really want to be here. But I'm going to make him want to be here. He's coming back. And we have to bring back Chris Houston, but we don't have enough money to. So we're going to have to restructure even more contracts. I was hoping not having to restructure that many contracts because I don't like getting into this dangerous territory. But if it works out that we can bring these guys back, then we'll have to do it. Ryan Clady. Who else can we give? Some of these guys are just not going to be enough money, though. That's the only problem. Like, freeing up $950K is not going to really matter too much. Let's see what that does. That should be enough to get him back. But it looks like we're going to lose out on Blaylock. But that's okay because we have Alex Boone, who we can move to left guard and have Carl Nix start at center. Or we could have Alex Boone start at center, I guess. Ooh, okay. So if we raise the years, we can slightly raise up the money. I don't think this is going to work. We might have to franchise tag him. Yeah, we're going to have to franchise tag Chris Houston. $28.9 million. That's rough. That's a rough franchise tag. We're going to lose out on Steven Nichols. We're going to lose out on Justin Blaylock. That's okay. That's totally fine. We'll just move. We'll move somebody to center. Probably Alex Boone. Or I could just draft a center, I guess. That's possible too. Okay, so this is going to be the final draft that we do. The final draft. Since we made the NFC title game, we'll probably have a pick in the high 20s. Probably 25 or later. I'm just hoping that... I mean, we could trade up. That's a possibility. I could trade up and get Von Miller. Let's take a look at the mock draft, see what's happening. So mock draft number 5 has Von Miller going number 3. It's not out of the realm of possibility to trade up for Von Miller. They have us mocked to take Mike Pouncey, which we do need a center, technically, since we just lost ours. But I kind of want to get a little freaky. I think Von Miller would help the team more than Mike Pouncey would. Let's move Alex Boone to center and see what happens. We move him to center. He's a 73. That's not that bad. That is not that bad. The offensive line looks good. Offense in general looks good. We have A.J. Brown and Reggie Wayne, and then we have Roddy White and Michael Jenkins, so I'm fine with that. We have LaShawn McCoy, we have Gronk, we have Michael Vick. Offense looks good, but on defense, we need some linebackers badly. So that's why I kind of want to get Von Miller. We need linebackers very badly. So what about trading away all of my picks? Since we're only going to go one more year, I don't need any of my picks from these rounds. So I can trade my 2 first-round picks from next year if that'll get me the 3rd pick. Probably not. I'm about to add a lot more. Not D'Amico Ryans, the 3rd overall pick. Okay, that puts us in the orange, but I can give up my 2nd-round picks from the next 2 seasons. That puts us in the yellow, and then I'll give up my 3rd-round pick in 2029, and I'll have to give up my 3rd-round pick in 2028. Which is 2012. Trade offer accepted. So it took 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds to get the 3rd overall pick. And crucially, I kept that number 30 overall pick. I'm not stupid. All right, so now we have the number 3 overall pick. Hopefully we can grab ourselves Von Miller if everything goes our way. I guess if it doesn't, we can still have the option to take J.J. Watt because he's projected to go number 1 overall. So it's not a bad thing if we don't get Von Miller, but I would like to have Von Miller because we need outside linebacker help more than we need defensive line help nowadays. So let's see how this plays out. Von Miller's our guy at 3, but we'll see what happens. Start drafting. J.J. Watt should be the number 1 overall pick. You see what happens when you take freaking Sam Bradford? You're the number 1 overall team. They do take J.J. Watt. Broncos take Robert Quinn. Perfect. That leaves Von Miller ripe for the taking. We could take Cam Newton, but we don't need him. Von Miller, welcome to the squad. He will instantly start at outside linebacker over DeAndre Levy or over anybody else that we have there. And now we have still pick 30, crucially. So let's take somebody else. Pouncey is still available, but we need middle linebacker badly, or just linebacker in general. Is there another good linebacker we can just move? Akeem Ayers and Justin Houston. I don't think Justin Houston's going to be available at pick 30, so if I want him, I got to take him now. There's a couple good defensive linemen available, but that Chauncey dude just got star development, so I don't think that's the right move to take him. I'm going to take Justin Houston here. It's probably a little bit early, but he's not going to be there at pick 30 of the 2nd round, so might as well get him when I need to get him. And now we have the 2nd round pick, pick 30. We need to see if any defensive linemen. Oh, D tackles are all gone. I was hoping that Jarrell Casey would still be there, but he got taken. I do see Jason Kelsey there, but I think he's a low overall. I don't think it's really that worth it. We could take Randall Cobb here. That wouldn't be bad. Because other than Randall Cobb, I don't think there's another guy that we absolutely have to have here. Chimdi Chikwa? Maybe I take Mason Foster here. I mean, he's got 4.7 speed. He's nice middle linebacker depth. That's kind of a miss of a pick, but he's probably going to be a better overall than what we have there. So I'm okay taking that. And then Jason Kelsey's still available, so I'll grab Jason Kelsey just in case we need an actual center and not Alex Boone. And then we'll go into the 4th round and we'll draft somebody, and then I'll let the CPU handle the rest. I'll take Chimdi Chekwa because he's a Buckeye. Chimdi Chekwa. Welcome to the squad, big dog. 94 speed, 94 XL. Love to see that. All right, let's get out of this draft and basically see if we can get to the Super Bowl again, because we were there with the team a couple years ago, lost to the Patriots, but this team is better than they were when we lost to the Patriots. And now we add Von Miller, who's an 82 overall. Justin Houston's a 73. One of these guys took Brian Roll. Okay. Somebody's going to play middle linebacker. I don't know who it's going to be. Von Miller's actually the best player in the class. Love to see it. Somebody's going to play middle linebacker too. Or we could switch, but I don't think we have a lot of depth. I was going to say we could switch to a 4-3. I don't think we have a depth on the defensive line either. Enough depth. That's why I was going to take Jarrell Casey. That would have been perfect. But I don't think we got that. So we're going to add the defense, or add the rookies in there. We'll move Antonio Brown up to number 2. Carl Nix will be the starting left guard. We've got, yeah, see, Kelsey's a 67. If I would have just relied on that, we would have been in a little bit more trouble than we are now. We're looking good there. And then on defense, at least Mason Foster's a better overall than what we have originally. But I could move Greenway into middle linebacker, have Houston and Miller play the edges. That might be what I do. Let's do that. Let's move Chad Greenway into middle linebacker. That's not Chad Greenway. He is somehow black now. But if we move him into middle linebacker, then he is an 81 overall. That's fine, whatever. Then Houston plays outside. Von Miller plays outside. And we're good with that. And then we've got great corners. We got good enough defensive line. Good enough safeties. I mean, we're a championship organization. We just got to actually get there. And we have technically made Michael Vick's career a lot better than we have. So let's simulate this final season and see if we can get Michael Vick that elusive ring. We wrapped up the final season, and Michael Vick has led us to the best record we've ever had, 14 wins and another number 1 seed. But that means really nothing if we can't make it deep into the playoffs again. And oh my God, Michael Vick might have just won the MVP. It says award winner next to his name, so maybe he won best quarterback. I don't know what he won, but he won an award. 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns. He didn't throw a single interception the entire year, and he had 453 attempts. That is unreal from Michael Vick. He also had 400 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground, so he was also doing his work there. LaShawn McCoy's been a great addition to the team. Reggie Wayne's been a great addition. Antonio Brown's obviously a great addition. Gronk's a great addition. This team's got some potential, that is for sure. This team is really, really good. Defensively, Wesley Woodyard is performing like I would expect. DeAndre Levy did pretty good. Chad Greenway was okay. Tackle for loss leader Geno Atkins, 15. A lot of sacks this year. Love to see it. The rookie, maybe Von Miller got himself Rookie of the Year. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see that. I'm very curious to see what Michael Vick, what award he got. I guess I could check, but I'm hoping it's freaking MVP. Let's go to the playoffs, though. Are we going to win? We shut out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But here's the real moment of truth. Are we going to the NFC Championship game win? Are we going to go to the Super Bowl with a W? Please tell me that's the case. It is! We are headed back to the Super Bowl. So now Michael Vick has played in 2 Super Bowls in this alternate universe. Can he actually get a W? This is the best team we've ever had. This is the best season Michael Vick ever had. It's against a not as good Bills team. Please, I'm not going to jump in because I don't want crashing, especially at the very end. Please, Michael Vick, get the Super Bowl. Please, Michael Vick. Please. No, we lost 14-7. Michael Vick will not be a Super Bowl champion. That's unbelievable. How do we lose 14-7 to the Bills? Oh my God. So Matt Ryan gets MVP of the league. JP Lossman is the quarterback that beat Michael Vick. We got Coach of the Year. Marion Barber and Clay Matthews get Players of the Year. AJ Green and Marcel Darius get Rookies of the Year. So I'm guessing Michael Vick just won best quarterback. I'm assuming that's what he won. I guess we could take a look at his stats and awards and things. It's probably going to tell me, but Michael Vick finishes this video as a 97 overall. Technically, he's not a 97 overall. He's a 92 overall, but that is a vast improvement to what we've gotten him to, or what his career ended up being. And if we go through his progression history, what's it say he won? He was the NFL passing rating leader, obviously, because he didn't throw a pick. And he did win QB of the year. So he doesn't win MVP or anything like that, but he does get an award. But Michael Vick, man, we saved his career. We've also given him great talents around him. He's got a great tight end, a Hall of Fame tight end. He's got a great offensive line. He's got a Hall of Fame receiver. He's got a Hall of Fame running back, potentially. He's got good receivers around him other than Antonio Brown. And then on defense, he's got a Hall of Fame linebacker. He's got a Hall of Fame defensive lineman. He's got 2 Hall of Fame corners. He's got great stuff. And for some reason, John Abraham retired. I was going to say, for some reason, Downshire Leverage playing defensive line. I would probably, if we were going to go further, I would probably just move either Von Miller or Justin Houston down to defensive line and then just have Levy stay up in the outside linebacker spot. But that's going to be the video. We have saved Michael Vick's career. He has now had a much better career than what initially was his path in real life, where he was very good on the Atlanta Falcons, then went to prison, and then came back and played for the Eagles. Did okay enough and had some moments, and then kind of just faded and retired and stuff. So we've given him a great team. We've boosted his overall. We have allowed him to play in 2 Super Bowls, which is something he never did. I think that is a successful saved career for Mr. Michael Vick. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. I apologize for the crashing that kind of ruined the early part of the save. There's nothing really I can do about it. When you're working with mods on Madden on PC, it's very touch and go if it's going to crash or not. So most of the time we get lucky, it doesn't crash, but sometimes we have situations like that, and it forces me to restart everything and do it again. I'm not just going to scrap the video. That's just a waste of my time then. So it worked out. We did play in 2 Super Bowls. That was pretty cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get him a championship, but I do think that this team could win a championship in the future because this team is very, very loaded. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have any suggestions for players you want to see me either save their career or revive their career, let me know down below in the comments. I would really much appreciate that. But that's going to do it for me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.